played, from high school to now. So something for me has just been being aggressive as I can be. I'm undersized at tackle right now, so just making sure that I make up for my size with my toughness and my aggressiveness and just knowing the plays and always being full speed and just continue to go to the whistle. That's something I really take to heart because my father, he stayed on me about that. Just continue to go to the whistle and never giving up on the play.
Given what you guys did in high school, was it hard to have to actually run block?
Yeah, it wasn't as hard as it was, once I learned, repetition, is the key. Consistent reps at run blocking and the technique at run blocking. Once I got that down, it's become, more of a, I enjoy run blocking more than pass blocking now sometimes, because I get to put people on the ground, be more aggressive. But coming from Ren, we didn't do a lot of run blocking, pass set type offense. So it was definitely a challenge, but hey, that's what I come here for, to be challenged. So I love the grind. I love, continue to be hungry to get better, and that's just what I'm focused on, getting better every game.
I think Coach had mentioned in camp you kind of hit a wall. What's the biggest area you've improved on to kind of get yourself back in the mix and get some significant playing time?
Well, just taking coaching. Coaching is the key, being coachable. And I think as I critique myself in the springtime, I wasn't as focused on football as I needed to be. I wasn't as focused on taking coaching. It was a lot of things I thought I knew about because I could always make up for it in my athleticism. And just really sitting down talking to Coach Morris and Coach Caldwell, I told him I was going to bring a different edge in camp as far as toughness and just really taking all you guys as coaching and taking coaching and the technique and critiquing myself with Coach Caldwell. That's really is what given me the best opportunity where I'm at right now.
Shaq, is there a different vibe, or is there what's the vibe among the players this week heading down to Florida State, getting ready for Florida State? Is it any different than maybe some of the other weeks here so far in the season?
Well, it's always business against any opponent that you play. And I hate to say it, but I just feel like I have to be honest with this specific opponent. It's something more inside of us. The fire's burning a little bit hotter, because of also being not only an ACC matchup, but I just feel like each year we go out and we just compete and we play, and there's a lot of respect that isn't given to us that I feel that we've earned. So it's just about getting the respect that we deserve, and that's what we want to go take.
You've obviously watched a lot of Clemson games over the years. What's it mean to you that you're actually playing in this big-time rivalry game?
Well, it's funny. I was actually, I don't know if you guys remember when C.J. Spiller and James Davis was here when we played Georgia Tech. That was the last time I think we were on game day. I was a little kid that game. I came down with my family, and I was one of those fans out in front of the podium after the game looking at C.J. and James talk, and I just reminisce on stuff like that and just think about how blessed I am to be where I'm at now, how far, God has brought me, because that's the key. I try to give God glory in everything that I do, and that's why I have the opportunities I do have now. So, I just reminisce on that, and I really appreciate it because I know there's a lot of other people that can be in the position I'm in and they're not. So I don't take it for granted.
How hard has it been the last, say, 2 weeks to not look forward to this game? I mean, obviously Ball State and Furman, those are games you're probably going to win. How hard has it been to just sort of keep this one right where it's supposed to be, which is this Saturday?
Well, it's all about focus and your mindset on what you're focusing on. And I think, for me, I was never looking ahead to Florida State because, getting that start against Ball State, that's all I was focused on at the time. I was like, hey, how am I going to do? Am I going to be ready for it? So, this is my first college game in the Valley, 80,000 people. So that's what my thoughts were on. And then even this week, for me, it's honestly been, every week focusing on that game because, like I said, I'm young. I have very little experience. So it's been focusing on taking care of what's ahead of me, at that time. So this week I was focused on Furman. I was just focused on Furman. And as soon as that game was over, put that game in the books, and now it's Florida State for me. And, all the way I'm just focusing on what can I do, to give myself the best opportunity to be successful and us be successful as a team.
When you made that start 2 weeks ago, how many people did you have coming over from making the drive, the 30-minute drive?
I had my parents. I mean, my father's an alumni. My dad played here, so my parents actually tailgate. But my family, I had probably about 30, 40 relatives down here before and after the game, and just family and friends from Ren in the community, and a lot of my friends in this area really supported me and coming out to check me out. So that was good. But at the end of the day, I had to focus on the task at hand, doing my job.
Did your dad give you a grade or critique you any after
He actually
that?
did. He actually did. That was the first thing he did when I went to the tailgate. I went over there and talked to my family, my aunts, my mother, And my dad said, "Come over here." I said, "All right, here he goes." He's like, "Son, I'm proud of you. It's about 4 times though I saw you. You messed up." I said, "You don't want to be your worst critique. I don't know what the play was, but it's 4 times I was concerned about you." I said, "All right, Dad." He's like, "Let me know what you grade out at." And he did the same thing yesterday. Yesterday he said, "You did a much better job this week, son." He said, "This time it was only 3." But and my mom gets on to him about it. But yeah, my dad's always been my personal coach because my father coached me, throughout youth league and middle school, and he coached me throughout life. So the tools he's given me and my mother's given me, they it's unrealistic. Words can't express how much I've really grown because of them. So I really appreciate that coaching he gives me, but he keeps his distance. Hey, listen to me, but you better take your coaching from Coach Caldwell and Coach Morris.
So what's he think about Florida State this week? What's your dad think about it?
Well, I think my dad is more nervous than me, actually. I was actually just talking on the phone with him a little while ago, and he was just talking about, "Son, I'm really proud of you. Just keep pressing, just keep working hard. That's what he just keep working hard and keep trying to be the best you can be." And I just tell him, I said, "Dad, hey, I'm good. You don't have to worry. I'm gonna be all right." But it's natural for a father to worry about his son on being on such a big stage, and he wants to rub it in with his colleagues, his co-workers, or his family members. Some of my mother's family members that are USC fans. He wants to rub it in, so he wants to make sure that he can brag about me.
What do you think about the task at hand going up against Werner? I think Werner, he leads the nation in sacks. Is probably going to be lined up over right tackle this week.
Well, we've already started watching film on him, and the way I see it, I try to separate myself from intimidation, from fear. I try to make my mindset. He's a nameless opponent going into it. I never underestimate anybody. I'm going to give him all the credit in the world. I think he's a great player. But my mindset is to go in and do the best I can do for Clemson to win and give us the best opportunity to win. And if he's the opponent that's going to be across from me, then that's what it's going to do. But I just look at it as an opportunity to play against a great player, just to get better and get more experience under my belt. That's what I look at it as.
Shaq, you're an in-state guy, and you mentioned USC just a minute ago. What does it say about the state, maybe the state of the high schools here, that both programs are ranked in the top 10? I mean, it's just one of the small states in the country, and yet the 2 flagship programs are both ranked in the top 10.
Well, I think it just goes to show, the talent level that South Carolina has that, a lot of people overlook. Because, I've been and played in South Carolina my whole life, and I've met hundreds of recruits and players that have gone off across, out of the state. But I think my class that year, we kept a lot of our best players in state. And, I remember we were talking to Strong about, like, hey, USC and Clemson, we're going to end up being really good teams, and we're going to be competing, on the top level when we, get into our sophomore and junior year. So, it's just interesting to reminisce on things like that. It just goes to show that, we're working hard. We're working just as hard in South Carolina as you guys are in Florida, because I know that's one of those golden states, and Georgia. So